All right, let's talk about this Aaron Judge offer. Okay, you got 8-year, $300 million offer from the Yankees officially. Okay, and I think it could be a blessing and a curse at the same time. Why do I say that? Well, we're heading into the winter meetings, right? And teams like to make splashes at the winter meetings. But in order to get a guy to relocate, you're going to have to make another offer. It's like the Giants make an offer. They're going to have to make an offer that's probably 30, 40, 50 million higher than this one in order to get a guy to leave his hometown, right? I mean, his baseball hometown. His hometown is in San Francisco, right? So he's a West Coast kid who just happened to be drafted by an East Coast team. So, but in order to get him to relocate like that, where he's been a god in New York, you're going to have to give him enough money to justify it. So, but again, if that happens, then the Yankees, if they want to counter, they're going to have to counter with an offer that's just as big, okay? Just as, significantly larger. So this is where the blessing right now to me is the $300 million offer. They don't have a bigger offer right now. But it's pretty clear that Judge is waiting for a bigger offer. That's obvious. This is his chance to cash in anyway on free agency. So let's just say the Giants go 340. The Yankees are probably going to have to go 370, 380 at that point. And now, is it worth it? That's a lot of money for a guy turning 31. I know he's a franchise player, he's a superstar, and one of the best players in baseball. Yes, I get it. But that's big money. Would it prevent them from signing other players? It sounds like it probably would, even though Hal says it doesn't or wouldn't, because they're back to pre-pandemic revenues again. I just can't see it happening. So that 300, I think, is going to be countered probably by a 340 or something to that effect by San Francisco and potentially another team. Okay, expect the winter meetings. This is where teams like to make a splash. The Giants would like to just come right in and swoop them up and say, we're signing Aaron Judge. We're giving him 360 or whatever. And do we think the Yankees are going to counter? I let them walk at that number. Okay, it's just that number is way too big and there's too many holes to fill for the Yankees. And again, that's how you make a splash, by blowing the guy away, right? And Yankees have done this numerous times as well during the winter meetings. They acquired Giancarlo Stanton during the winter meetings and made that big splash. So, this is a chance for the Giants or the Dodgers or someone else, the Texas Rangers or the Angels or the Padres or the Mariners, to do the same. So this is where that $300 million is to me, it's like a sweet spot. But then again, it's also the death number also, because again, I'm a firm believer that if they go 340, the Yankees are going to have to go 370 or something like that to get him to stay. If they match 340, I don't think he's going to stay. Because then I think the Giants will probably counter, or the Dodgers will probably counter. And these guys have a lot of money off the books, and the Dodgers and the Giants have already said they're going to spend it on get what they need. And Mookie Betts has already shown a willingness to move positions to make room for Aaron Judge. Okay, he's already said he'll move back to second, which was his natural position, his original position, just to bring Aaron Judge to L.A. So there's a lot of pieces set in place, which means the Yankees are going to have to work twice as hard. And you never know. Like that, his offer yesterday was made public. The Judge camp might be pissed about that as well. Now, personally, being pissed doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why would the Yankees take a PR hit, right, and just let people assume that they made a crappy offer when they didn't? $300 million is not a crappy offer, no matter what you say, no matter what anybody says. That's a legit offer. For a 31-year-old or soon-to-be 31-year-old, that's a legit offer. 8 years, 300, and it's make him $37.5 million per season, and he would have the highest average annual value of any offensive player in baseball history. Okay, not the largest outlay, that's Mike Trout, but the largest AAV of a position player in baseball history, $37.5 million per year for 8 years. So there's a lot of things going for him in that contract, and that's also almost $100 million more than the Yankees initially offered. So, a lot of stuff here, and again, it's going to require gargantuan balls to swoop him away from the Yankees, and it's going to require gargantuan balls for the Yankees to counter any big move. And again, do the Yankees walk? Do they counter? Do they increase it? This is where it gets interesting, and there's going to be a big splash or two at the winter meetings, and all signs are pointing towards Judge making a decision at the winter meetings. So maybe he knows something we don't. He's also waiting for a San Francisco Giants offer. He got an initial offer from the Dodgers. I think it was 5 years, $215, which was $43 million per. So, and again, if you go 8 years, you go 360. That's $45 per. That's a lot of money. If you go 8 years, 320. That's $40 per. So, expect some activity. Load up the comments with your predictions, what you think of this contract. how they would counter, who would counter, and what the Yankees would have to counter with. Because this is going to be an interesting one, gang. Let's get into this.